Okay, so we're going to camp here for tonight to acclimate to this different altitude. And I looked at the side of the truck and I incurred some damage. I hit a freaking rock and I bent this side step up. So I'm going to have to climb on it and bounce and see if I can straighten it up a little bit. Yeah, truck's taking a beating. This trail it's not really good for a big vehicle like this, because sooner or later you're going to damage it. So one thing for sure, it's in the middle of the, well, not the middle, it's the middle of this one here, because there's another meadow on the other side. Okay, all right, I'm going to pop this up and start prepping the pack for tomorrow. That's what I'm taking food and water for 3 days, I believe. I can't do it for 4. It's gonna be too much weight. The water is the issue. It's always been the water. All right, later. Okay guys, I'm gonna start prepping the bag. I got already some of the clothing, and being that water is an issue, I need to be hydrated. This has about 32 ounces. I'm gonna add an additional little bottle. Increasing my weight definitely. And being that I'm gonna be out there as long as I can, I'm gonna have to get some more. And this water is freezing. It's pretty cold. It's nice. And I'm only taking the Longines bottle as a backup, as a cooking, cooking water. This one has this juice in it. It's not good to cook with. Okay, I think that'll last. So let's put this on. Nice and tight. So we're looking at 64 ounces. So then I got the side bottle. The Nalgene. This one has an additional 32, a little bit more. That's gonna go on the side pocket that I bought it just for that, and it's perfect. It's perfect. And I can take an additional little bottle. I'm going to be eating a lot less, that's for sure. Water has always been the issue with me. The weight of the water is the problem. So the sleeping bag, I'm going to use it tonight, so I'm not going to put it in. The sleeping bag goes first, then the food, then the air mattress, and then the knickknacks go on the side. I already got a few in there. And on this trip, I'm taking the Outdoor Edge skinning knife, a bone saw that I use for gardening, a little shovel in case you need to dig something, and my Blackjack 125. And I usually put them like this, put another stuff in there, and zip it. It's attached to this here. And I'm taking this little bundle of rope. Okay, so then this is gonna go over the pack. I'm gonna take my hat, my gloves, the neck and face scarf for the very cold morning, then take that off. And then the layers, I decided not taking a coat. I'm taking several layers, and I'm gonna do it this way. This long sleeve see-through, you can see the light, goes first. Well, I gotta put back on my thermal. And then then on top of that goes my shirt, short sleeve, it's got pockets. Then on top of that goes this very well, this thing really blends with the surroundings, long sleeve shirt. And I have a lightweight Parker that if it's really cold, I can put this on in the morning, and it has a hood, and it's rainproof in case it starts drizzling. It's not going to drizzle. It hasn't drizzled, but it's an additional layer. If I take the other jacket, the heavy duty ones, you know, I got this here and this one here, they're bulky and they're not gonna, you know, I want to be able to move easily. So the way it's going to be is the sleeping bag goes first in there, and then the clothing goes next, and then the food. I decided I'm going to put the tent up here, and I'm going to put the mattress outside on the bottom or inside. It might be inside. So I want the weight on top. The tent is a little heavier. And that's it for now. All right, later. Well, my hunting is screwed up for a while anyways, because I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this muddy, crappy road, and I tried my boards in the front and in the rear. This tire is basically swimming in water. This one is not doing much, and that one in the back, it's just rotating up in the air because it's hung up on the axle, on the rear axle. So basically I'm stuck here until the opening when there's going to be some traffic, and I hope there'll be a big truck with I got a strap, but a Jeep is not going to be able to take me out. It's got to be a good size pickup. On the way in, I went into this, I saw the condition of this, and I said, oh, somebody went through here. So I came through here and I did okay. It's a little wet, and I got out and I parked over there where those rocks are, and I camped for a couple of hours. I watched the movie and had lunch, and then I said, you know what, let's go back to where the river is, back over there, this nice shade, because it does get pretty hot here. The battery is already fully charged with the drive and the solar. So I said I want to be in the sun, and I don't know what I was thinking. I started driving, and all of a sudden, boom, I hit a rock and I stepped on it, and boom, I landed in this bog. So that's it for me. No forward, no reverse. I try four-wheel drive high and low, and four-wheel drive low and high and low, and every combo. These tires are not exactly mudders, and those racks, those track things, I thought they would help me, but not in this condition. The axle is hung up, and there's no room in there to go and shovel. So I guess I'm gonna pop it and stay here for a couple of days until people start showing up. I'm so disgusted. I don't even want a video anymore. Shit. Only when I'm rescued. All right, later. Luckily I have enough food and water to last me, but that wasn't the plan. All right, later. Well, it's no use. It's 4:30. I've been trying since 12:30. I'm pooped out. I got the those ramp underneath the tires. I managed to lift the other one and put those yellow little blocks under it. I put a double, and those blocks, I got two on the other tire, you can't see them, and then I got the ramp. I got rocks in the front, put rocks on the back here also. I tried rocks in the front and the back. This is lifted, and it's got those dual blocks, the yellow ones underneath. And I dug and I put this rock underneath. It didn't work. I tried to do a ramp. It didn't work. It should work. The reason it's not doing it is because the axle stuck in the mud, and it's hanging onto the chassis. It's hanging onto the chassis, so it's definitely stuck. And the mud in some places, it's already drying. I don't know why I have water, but anyway, I'm gonna have to rely on the goodness of somebody in 2 days time. So let's see, somebody comes with a heavy vehicle and we can pull me. I think it's better if it pulls me in reverse, because I'm stuck going that way. So I can't do anything more, you know. Luckily I have enough food and water to last me a month if I have to. But I'm hoping for some hunters to come through here, and they usually do, because that's the way out to the wilderness, and a lot of people go in there. There's a bunch of guys with Toyotas and stuff, and Toyota's not going to do anything with this. I need a heavy duty, maybe a diesel, a Dodge, a heavy Suburban, or a Ford, or I don't know, maybe a couple of Jeeps. All I need is a little nudge, and then this thing's got a lot of power in low gear. All I need is a nudge, and I'll put it in gear and run it and see what happens. But this thing is sitting way down on the mud. I had those blocks of wood. I also tried that. See, this tire is basically hanging in the air, because the whole thing is sitting on and the chassis is sitting in the mud. So I already put a strap in the front. See if somebody wants to give me a tug. So that's it for now. I mean, at this point, I'm so disgusted that I want to go home. I wasted all my energy on doing this by myself. Set it up, put a rock, get the jack lifted, get another rock, get it in there, go get the rocks over there, 100 yards, and go back and go get another one and go back. They're big, and heavy. And I'm pooped out. And it didn't work. I thought it was gonna work. It didn't work. If it wasn't that it's grabbed, the chassis is stuck in the mud, those ramps will help me get out. But it's just sitting, it's basically sitting in the air. All right, so that's it for now. I don't think I'm gonna video much. It's embarrassing. I should have, what happened when I hit a rock, which I put it over here now, it popped out and I didn't see it, and I got scared. I thought I had, so what I did is, instead of stopping, backing up, I stepped on it and woof, went right into the muck. I should have gone the other way like I came in. That's the dry side. You see the tire, the trail marks on that side, because some people were here earlier with Jeeps, and this is the way to come in. Somebody came in here and screwed it all up, having fun in the mud. And I've been through here a bunch of times, and I've never seen it muddy like this. Never seen anybody getting stuck, or me either, come and go like nothing. So now that's the way to do it and avoid this, but too late for me. All right, I'm gonna go inside. I need to rest and get something to eat or something. All right, guys, later. Good morning. It's the second day. Well, not the whole day, it's the morning. So I managed to put a rock under the tire and reduce the air pressure to 15 pounds. But these tires are very rigid and it has no grip. The thread pattern on this is basically for road. I shoved another rock right there on the edge, hoping to get grab, and then this one, and if it comes up, then it'll ride the tray and take it out. The tray, I'm not sure it goes that way or the other way. I've tried them both, and it was just slipping and sliding. It wasn't grabbing. And you know, those tires are maybe 70% new. I'm not going to start selling that and putting motors, or you know, this is not what I usually do with this vehicle. I used to do that with the Blazer, but that was a long time ago. I don't know, I'll think about it. But now over here I'm trying to raise the assist side, and he also installed some of those rocks. I got one under there, but this side is slippery as hell. It won't grab, and it's slipping off the spring. And I'm trying to do this so I can, this one is really in the hole. I don't know if you can tell, the differential is buried in there. The differential, the transfer case, not the transfer case, the differential and the differential drive, it's almost touching too. But the differential is buried in there. So I need to lift it, get it off the ground, and put a lot of rocks underneath. And then in the front, gotta do something similar. So this is gonna be a long, slow job. If you don't do it well, don't do it at all. I'm not gonna rush it. I'm gonna try to get everything ready by 3 or 4 o'clock. I wanna make sure this truck is off the ground before I put it in gear and gun it. This one also is on a lot of lush, a lot of mush, a lot of loose mud and water. Water doesn't go. And there you can see it sitting there also. So this tire has to come up also. All of them. So I have to do one by one. And if I don't manage to do it, then I'm gonna have to wait for somebody to come along in another 2 or maybe 3 days. Because I came early so I can look around and backpack and, you know, take my time. You know, I went to the other area. The opening was last Saturday, and I said, well, you know, why go back home when the next opening is going to be the following week? And I decided to stay. I mean, I got plenty of water and food. Why not? You know, first time it ever happened. The condition on this trail has never been this way. You know, and it pisses me off because I know usually who does this kind of thing. Back there, I walked back there about 300 yards. It's worse than this. And those are the Jeepers, man. The Jeepers love the mud. They like to go in there with the big tires and kick up mud and crap and then go home all muddy and show off. They're the freaking Jeepers doing this shit. You know, and I'm paying for it. All right, so, and to pick up those rocks, it's 150 yards. And those rocks are heavy. All right, later. I hope I got good news later on the day. Bye. I did the best I could. I haven't tried it yet. What I did was the following. I raised the vehicle where I could back here with the jack. Deflated the tire to 14 pounds. And shoved rocks under the tire. And I did a little rocks ramp towards the back, so because that's the way I'm trying to get out, is reverse. And then I put those tracks behind that. And I did the same thing in the front, but in the front I couldn't jack it up because there's no way to put a jack under there tall enough to do it. So what I did was, being that the vehicle is sitting on the mud, the actual drivetrain and everything. So what I did is deflated the tire to 14 pounds, shoved the rocks in there, and did the same thing, did a small ramp. When the tires are low, and I should go to 10, but I don't want to pop a beat either, but when they're slow, it'll be a little more flexible. It'll grab the rock instead of slipping like it was doing it before with 50 pounds. And these are 80-pound tires for the highway. But when it grabs and it lifts a little bit, I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to take out my air pump and air them up all the way up to 80. That way it'll bring up the chassis and the drive terrain just enough. I don't think it'll be completely above it, but it'll be just enough that it'll give me a little less grab when I put it in gear and gun it. I want to make sure that the tires are grabbing those rocks and then I can go ahead and pull it all the way out. Now I'm gonna have to go back there and get some more rocks, which is I'm picking up 3 rocks at a time, averaging 30 pounds or so, and my arms are tired. So I got rocks on all 4 tires, but between the front and the rear tire, there's a pool of water and slushy mud. I gotta get more rocks and kind of drop them in there. As the truck moves, it'll grab some of those tires and some of those rocks and kind of help it along, because if it gets into a bog, it'll sink in and then it'll stop me. It will get stuck in the mud. So right now I'm taking a break. It's about 11:30 right now, and I decided to set up my chair and take out my binoculars and kind of look around the surrounding hills. I know it's kind of late in the day. I did that in the morning, but I've never seen deer grazing on this side of the hills. They're on the opposite. But, you know, I drank some Gatorade. I'm recouping my strength, and I'm trying to get ready for the big moment. But like I said, I'm going to have to go get some more rocks. So I'm going to sit here for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes until I feel my arms are not achy. Because this is the one with the surgery, so it's still with the pain. But I have to bear with it because I got to get out of here. If not, then I'm stuck for an additional 3 days until the hunters show up on Friday or Saturday. So I'm hoping when they get here on Friday, if they get here early, they'll start scouting and moving around. And if they come this way, one of them can give me a tug, because all I need is a good tug and I'll get out. All right, guys. So what an ordeal. I think this is going to be my last trip back here. I've been coming here for over 35 years, and I think that's enough. Let's find a new place with less problems. All right, later. On the next one. Okay, so plan A didn't work. I positioned everything, and the tires are slipping. They're grabbing the rock, but they're slipping. The rocks doesn't have any teeth. They're all river rocks. They're rounded. So now plan B is to bring up the air pressure to the max, which is, I believe it's 85 pounds. I'll double check the tires. So I already got the little compressor going, and see if I can inflate them. So maybe if it lifts a little bit the truck off the mud, it will give me a chance to pull it out. If that doesn't work, then I have no more options. I'm out of ideas. So, and tools. So I'm making a little list of things I should have on this truck. And one of them is I need a crowbar. It's a good thing to have. A 8-pound sledgehammer. Let me get some behind me. An 8-pound sledgehammer, so you can really pound the rocks. I only have a framing hammer, which is only, I don't know, 22 ounces or so. And also I have a high lift truck jack for 4-wheeling. It's on the Blazer. I'm gonna see if I can install it on the truck somewhere, because with the high lift I would have been out by now. I would have hooked it up to I have to do an adapter also for the hitch, because the high lift, it goes down and you still got to know, I don't know, 6 inches or so. So I need to do an adapter Right now my hitch is sitting right on the mud, so I need to do an adapter that comes out and up and over, and then you can hook the high lift and jack it up. That thing goes up 44 inches, I think. And with that, I can pile all kinds of rocks. And I don't have any wood here. Everything here, well, the woods are pretty far, and it's all dried and stuff. Rocks are the best thing, but all the rocks over here, they're rounded out because they're river rocks. They don't have jagged edges or anything. So that's one thing to have. And you know, I don't want to go through this again, and I have to make some decisions on what's going to happen next. Yeah, I've been tossing it over. I don't want to say yet what it is, but I'm gonna have to make some decisions. All right, I'll see you on the next one. And when I finish airing out all the tires, which is gonna take a good 15 at least minute per tire, is gonna be an hour. All right, later. Okay, so I air up 3 tires at 80 pounds. That's the maximum. And the setup that I did should have worked. The reason that it didn't work is because of the tires. These tires are not mudders. They don't have side grooves to grab like I have on the Blazer. These are good road tires. They're Cooper's. Cooper's one of my favorite brands. But these tires, even though I aired them down to nothing, I went down to, my little gauge goes down to 10. And I aired them down to 10. I said, you know, I'm going to pop a beat, what the hell with it, you know, but I need to get this thing. And it just, even though we had no air, the tires didn't flop. When you let go, when you release the air on a tire, a mud tire probably, it'll expand about 2 to 3 inches. That will give you enough grab on a rock. It will grab the rock around it. The torque would grab, you know, the tire will grab the rock, and the torque would move the tire and climb up out of the hole. These tires were slipping. They're and I kept pushing stuff in there, and I tried to get the rack. That's another thing. That rack didn't do anything. I mean, the tires weren't grabbing. They have no teeth. Look at the thread pattern on these things. They're not made for grabbing anything. This is just road. Look at the edges. They even shaved off. There's no lip on them. It's a little canal right there. It's square and then a canal. Square, canal. So it's not grabbing. And I try to push the rocks in there, and I tried pieces of, you know, like this piece of wood and that wood and the other. And man, it's been a battle since this morning. Yesterday I did like what, 5 hours, 6 hours, and today it's already, I don't have my watch off. Let me see, I put it out to the sun because I had a little bit of a, yeah, it's 2:21. The tires are not helping. If I had mudders or four-wheel drive tires, you know, these are only 2 plies. Like I said, they're good for the road, but it's not good for dirt. Not a little bit of dirt, I mean a little bit of mud. And then they clog up real easy. So what I have to do is get, especially this one in the front, I will get the hammer and pound them. When they're low on air and they're more flexible, you can pound the dirt out, and I did. Look at this setup. It should have grabbed. It should have grabbed that 2x4, and it didn't. Look at this. It's easy to pull out. I got another rock under there, and for some reason, these things are not grabbing nothing. Nothing at all. So what I would do, you know, look at the crap coming off. And now they got 80 pounds. But a mud tire automatically cleans itself because it's expanding and contracting. I'm not gonna try anymore. I'm done. I'm just gonna air up. I'm giving the little compressor a break. Oh, look, it tipped over. Let me go straighten it out. All right. I'm putting the stuff away already. I removed the rear hitch. I put away the tools. I gotta put away the crane. I mean the jack sitting right here. Oh, and the jack worked pretty well, but you know, I had to put rock, and the rock was sinking in the mud. Put another rock, and the other rock was sinking in the mud. And then I put a piece of wood on top, and the wood started floating. And all with one hand, because you can't get in there with the other hand. Now I was sitting looking at the setup, and I noticed that this chassis has two great tubes. They look to be 5 inches wide. And let me show you. There's one there and one there. And I was thinking that it would be a good setup if I put a sleeve tube inside of that one. It's in the chassis. That'll come out here about 2.5 feet or so, and then you can put your jack or some other type of equipment. Well, it had to be a jack, a high lift, and you can crank it and lift the vehicle, then toss a lot of rocks. Because I can only go as far as that hydraulic jack, and that thing only goes down maybe 9 inches. That's it. With the high lift, you can go 1.5 feet more. You can fill up the bottom there with a bunch of rocks, let that tire get out of the water, and it will grab, you know, if I have better tires, yeah, it will grab the rocks, and then I will pull myself out. So I'm gonna think on that. But I'm so upset with this that, you know, I might sell this rig. You know, even though I like it and everything, but one thing that bothers me every time you go through a trail or anything, everything falls on the floor. No matter how you tuck it in or whatever. Sometimes the drawers open up and toilet slides out, and it's a mess. You got to reorganize everything again, and then, you know, it happens again. And you know, if the way to do it, honestly, I could keep this, and I can go to a nice campground, a campground that's not gonna be the hell to get to, pull a Jeep, because with the quad they don't allow you. There's a bunch of signs now that says no green sticker vehicles allowed. That means quads and motorcycles and things on the road. There are trails for the bikes, not the quads. So maybe I'll sell the quad and pull a Jeep, get a cheapy Jeep, and with a Jeep I can go explore. I don't have to take the whole house. I can go hunt here, hunt there, and have the camper in a nice level place, everything in its place, nothing is falling down or anything, and go that way. So that's an idea. The other idea is to sell, like I'm planning on selling the Blazer, and if I sell this, I still have the Avalanche that I can pull a travel trailer, and I can go hunting. There was a guy up there that he had like a nice, yeah, that thing must have been 24, 25 feet, maybe 26. He parked it in a nice level area. He had a truck, and with the truck, I saw him driving around. He was hunting with the truck, and you know, you don't have to be squatting down, and you know, everything. Everything, it's in its place. You just open the door, open the drawer. Over here is you got to get this bag out of the way so you can get to this, and you got to put the bag over here so you can get to that, and then you got to pull. It's a workout, man. It's a workout. That's why you know, when I get home, I'm all pooped out, because it is a workout. So now I removed the the extension hitch that I have back here for the quad, it was sticking out to here. I put it away, and then I wrapped this around my hitch, and I have it hanging here. So when somebody comes along and says, hey, you got a strap? And I go, yep, right here. So this is the mess. I got the rifles in the front now, and let me close this so there's no flies going in. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I thought with these things I was gonna be safe, but look, the tire, it's tucked in the tire. It's tucked in there. It's just that this type of tire does not grab diddly. It doesn't grab anything. So now, you know, those tires, they seem to be not even halfway through. I'm not gonna spend $1,000. I'm not gonna come through here. In fact, this might be my last time coming over here, because it's a pain in the ass, man. It's a pain in the ass. So let me close this up here. So I'm gonna give that compressor about 15 minutes or so, and that'll start pumping it. So I think that's the way to do it. I mean, I was always very proud and showing off, hey, you know, I'm over here where only Jeeps can go, you know, with All Blue. I used to come here a bunch of times with All Blue. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna try the big rig. It made it okay through the trail on the way in. There's a couple of spots on the way out that's gonna be an issue. I'm gonna have to deflate the tires again, and I don't think that's gonna do anything, because these tires don't grab it out. They don't grab nothing. If I'm gonna be doing off-roading, I might have to change tires. But I don't wanna do off-roading because there's damage incurred. Every time you go out with, especially a vehicle heavy like this, you're gonna damage something. You know, I already bent the side step. I already straightened it out. I got on it and jumped on a little bit. And so this is just to get you to where you want to go, and then you use your rear vehicle, whatever you're towing, for the hunting and exploring. I think that's the way to do it. A few days ago, when I was in the other zone, a couple of guys approached me on the road, asking me, you know, do you see anything? And I said, no, I just heard a few shots. He goes, yeah, me too. And they were coming along and driving in a convertible Jeep, an old one. And I looked at it and go, that's what I need. That's a nice little Jeep. It's just that I don't want to spend $18,000. Everybody's asking a lot of money now for vehicles, including me. I'm going to be asking good money for that Blazer. But I want a beater upper. I don't want to be worried, oh, the pain and then. This thing got all scratched up and stuff. Once I take it home, I'm gonna clean it really good, maybe give it a wax, and then put it away. I'm not taking this in the mud or anything. So that might be the future plans for what they are, you know. In the meantime, I'm just enjoying the view. Everything here is very nice, and I sat for about 20 minutes and I glanced at every hill, and there was nothing on them. Usually there's a buck, you know, not a buck, but there's a doe feeding on the side hills in the morning, but no. And by the way, it got cold. It got cold. I think it went to 27. I'm sleeping inside 2 sleeping bags, and I could feel it. It was cold. All right, guys, so I want to see if I can get something to eat and take a nap and wait for the day that people start coming by so they can talk me out. All right, see you on the next one.